have you?
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of The Artist Reads the Bible. Today we're going to be starting with Exodus 38. And 38, not horrible. 39, a little longer. And there is only 40 chapters. I may try to do 38, 39, and 40. I don't know yet. We'll see. As usual, I got my highlighter, got my decaf Java juice, and I got the Living Word of God right here. Whew, a little wore out. I don't know why. It's got to be the heart failure thing. Anymore, I just do anything, and I get so just wore out. It don't make any sense. I can get on that treadmill, and I can literally go for hours. It wouldn't. I haven't done it in a while, but I don't think it'd bother me because I do 20, 30, 35 minutes on there, and I could actually probably go a lot longer. I just get bored, which is weird because, like, here, if I try to, I know a lot of it's my belly, but I try to do anything, and I get out of breath. And I know I have COPD, but I don't know. They said I had that a long time ago, and I don't know that I do, because on past breathing test, I've scored top percentile. I'm sure that's changed since, but I don't know anymore. I like when I put the pool up, my kid was helping me, and like killed me. I ain't gonna lie. I never really had problem. Well, no lie. That cover is brutal. Getting up, getting down, getting up, getting down. You know, a lot of it, I got bad knees. I got arthritis in my lower back, upper back. I got nerve damage in this arm. I got damage to the left shoulder blade. I got this defibrillator in. So, combination of all of it's like getting up and getting down is the worst part of it. You know, doing stuff at this level or whatever. I still get slightly out of breath. It's not too bad, but that getting up, getting down thing kills me. I ain't gonna lie, that stuff kills me. I need to work on. I don't know what would help with that. I used to have horrible pain in my right knee. I mean, just, oh, it was so bad. But just from walking on that treadmill repeatedly, I guess I built up muscles around my knee that doesn't hurt that bad anymore. It does when I get up or get down. Get up or get down. Did that backwards. But like, I don't know. I need to figure out what'll build muscles that help with that. Who knows? Let me get some Java juice and we'll get started. Love coffee. All right. Oh, my eyes get tired wearing them glasses. Chapter 38. Next, Bezalel used acacia wood to construct the square altar of burnt offering. It was 7.5 feet wide, 7.5 feet long, and 4.5 feet high. He made horns for each of its four corners so that the horns and altar were all one piece. He overlaid the altar with bronze. Then he made all the altar utensils of bronze, the ash buckets, shovels, basins, meat forks, and fire pans. Sounds like my grill. Not bronze, though. Next, he made a bronze grating and installed it halfway down the side of the altar, under the ledge. He cast 4 rings and attached them to the corners of the bronze grating to hold the carrying poles. He made the poles from acacia wood and overlaid them with bronze. He inserted the poles through the rings on the sides of the altar. The altar was hollow and was made from planks. Bezalel made the bronze wash basin and its bronze stand from bronze mirrors donated by the women who served at the entrance of the Tabernacle. Bronze mirrors. Now, isn't that interesting? Today, I don't know what we use, some kind of, because you can break a mirror, but back in that day they used metal. metallic mirrors that they polished. Which makes sense because you can take like a older car that was actually made with metal. Today, I don't think so much. And really put a nice wax job on it, and you can see yourself in black vehicles or like dark blue, stuff like that. So it makes sense. Then Bezalel made the courtyard, which was enclosed with curtains made of finely woven linen. It'll be one of those days. On the south side, the curtains were 150 feet long. They were held up by 20 posts set securely in 20 bronze bases. He hung the curtains with silver hooks and rings. He made a similar set of curtains for the north side, 150 feet of curtains held up by 20 posts set securely in bronze bases. He hung the curtains with silver hooks and rings. The curtains on the west end of the courtyard were 75 feet long, hung with silver hooks and rings, and supported by 10 posts set into 10 bases. The east end, the front, was also 75 feet long. The courtyard entrance was on the east end, flanked by 2 curtains. The curtain on the right side was 22.5 feet long and was supported by 3 posts set into 3 bases. Oh, it popped my neck. It was hurting. The curtain on the left side was also 22.5 feet long and was supported by 3 posts set into 3 bases. All the curtains used in the courtyard were made of finely woven linen. Each post had a bronze base, and all the hooks and rings were silver. The tops of the posts of the courtyard were overlaid with silver, and the rings to hold up the curtains were made of silver. He made the curtain for the entrance to the courtyard of finely woven linen, and he decorated it with beautiful embroidery in blue, purple, and scarlet thread. It was 30 feet long, and its height was 7.5 feet, just like the curtains of the courtyard walls. It was supported by 4 posts, each set securely in its own bronze base. The tops of the posts were overlaid with silver, and the hooks and rings were also made of silver. All the tent pegs used in the tabernacle and courtyard were made of bronze. This is an inventory of the materials used in building the tabernacle of the covenant. I told you I was a little rough getting through some of these with measurements. Gotta do it though. The Levites compiled the figures as Moses directed, and Ithamar, son of Aaron, the priest, served as recorder. Bezalel, son of Uri, grandson of Hur, of the tribe of Judah, made everything just as the Lord had commanded Moses. Tribe of Judah. If I'm not mistaken, that's the tribe Jesus come from. Tribe of Judah. The Lion of Judah. He was assisted by Aholiab, son of Ahisamach, of the tribe of Dan, a craftsman expert at engraving, designing, and embroidering with blue, purple, and scarlet thread on fine linen cloth. The people brought special offerings of gold totaling 2,193 pounds. That's a lot of gold. That is a lot of gold. Wow. 2,193 pounds. Whew. That's that's a lot. As measured by the weight of the sanctuary shekel, this gold was used throughout the tabernacle. The whole community of Israel gave 7,545 pounds of silver. Wow. There's a lot of gold and silver in there. As measured by the weight of the sanctuary shekel. This silver came from the tax collected from each man registered in the census. The tax is 1 beka, which is half a shekel based on the sanctuary shekel. The tax was collected from 603,550 men who had reached their 20th birthday. The 100 bases for the frames of the sanctuary walls and for the posts supporting the inner curtain required 7,500 pounds of silver, about 75 pounds for each base. The remaining 45 pounds of silver was used to make the hooks and rings and to overlay the tops of the posts. The people also brought as special offerings 5,310 pounds of bronze, which was used for casting the bases for the post at the entrance to the tabernacle, and for the bronze altar with its bronze grating and all the altar utensils. Bronze was also used to make the bases for the posts that supported the curtains around the courtyard, the bases for the curtain at the entrance of the courtyard, and all the tent pegs for the tabernacle and the courtyard. That's 38. Let me get some Java juice and we'll proceed with 39. Somebody from the hospital where my advanced heart failure doctor's at today called just out of the blue. And at first I thought it was kind of like a scam or something, but it's not. Because they were saying they wanted to do genetic testing on me because of my heart failure to see, what could be passed on to my kids, what, I guess it tests like 157 different genetic markers for heart failure, different types of heart conditions. And, I was like, well, isn't that a little pointless? 25% of my heart's dead. My ejection fraction was sitting at 20-25. I have chronic systolic congestive heart failure. But she finally did come around saying, well, it could help him with future treatments on me, like know what to watch out for, what to guard against. Like there could be something else that could happen to me I don't even know about. I could be predetermined to strokes or, another heart attack and I tried to tell her, I'm like, my whole family on the Rhodes side my grandpa died at 60 or 62, I don't remember, of a massive heart attack. My grandmother had a stroke and then died shortly after at 63 or 66. My father actually had cancer, so I don't know which one he died from, but he had different multiple. He had, I think, made like a total of 12 heart attacks in his life. A lot of minor, different ones. He had like 7 or 8 stents. But while he had cancer, he ended up having a massive heart attack. And then he died. He's actually survived it, but he died a week or so later at 70 years old. Needless to say, us Rhodes don't, which is weird because Grandma Rhodes, which was my grandpa's mother, she lived, I want to say, into her 90s. And then Ira Rhodes, which was my grandpa's brother, is still alive, and I want to say he's in his late 80s, if not 90s. So I don't know how this works. Goes through some and not others. I don't know. But anywho, they're gonna mail me something. I gotta swab my cheek and then mail it back. So hey, whatever. If it helps my doctor figure things out, I'm all for it. That's one of the easier tests he's had me do. Proceed with 39. Clothing for the priest. The craftsman made beautiful sacred garments of blue, purple, and scarlet cloth, clothing for Aaron to wear while ministering in the holy place, just as the Lord had commanded Moses. Bezalel made the ephod of finely woven linen and embroidered it with gold and with blue, purple, and scarlet thread. He made gold thread by hammering out thin sheets of gold and cutting it into fine strands. Could you imagine doing that? Wow. The patience required for that. With great skill and care, he worked it into the fine linen with the blue, purple, and scarlet thread. The ephod consisted of 2 pieces, front and back, joined at the shoulders with 2 shoulder pieces. The decorative sash was made of the same materials, finely woven linen, embroidered with gold and with blue, purple, and scarlet thread, just as the Lord had commanded Moses. They mounted the 2 onyx stones in settings of gold filigree. The stones were engraved with the names of the tribes of Israel, just as a seal is engraved. He fastened these stones on the shoulder pieces of the ephod as a reminder that the priest represented the people of Israel. All this was done just as the Lord had commanded Moses. Nose itching, excuse me. Bezalel made the chest piece with great skill and care. He made it to match the ephod, using finely woven linen embroidered with gold and with blue, purple, and scarlet thread. He made the chest piece of a single piece of cloth folded to form a pouch 9 inches square. They mounted 4 rows of gemstones on it. The first row contained a red carnelian, a pale green peridot, and an emerald. The second row contained a turquoise, a blue lapis lazuli, and a white moonstone. The third row contained an orange jacinth, an agate, and a purple amethyst. The fourth row contained a blue-green beryl, an onyx, and a green jasper. All the tribes of Israel, 12 tribes. All these stones were set in gold filigree. Each stone represented one of the 12 sons of Israel. Told you. And the name of that tribe was engraved on it like a seal. To attach the chest piece to the ephod, they made braided cords of pure gold thread. They also made 2 settings of gold filigree and 2 gold rings and attached them to the top corners of the chest piece. They tied the 2 gold cords to the rings on the chest piece. They tied the other ends of the cords to the gold settings on the shoulder pieces of the ephod. Then they made 2 more gold rings and attached them to the inside edges of the chest piece next to the ephod. Then they made 2 more gold rings and attached them to the front of the ephod below the shoulder pieces, just above the knot where the decorative sash was fastened to the ephod. They attached the bottom rings of the chest piece to the rings on the ephod with blue cords. Hey, blue cord. Infantry. I was in the infantry. Blue cord. Oh, where am I? In this way, the chest piece was held securely to the ephod. Lost my place. Above the decorative sash. All this was done just as the Lord had commanded Moses. Bezalel made the robe that is worn with the ephod from a single piece of blue woven cloth. Oh, that's my favorite color. With an opening for Aaron's head in the middle of it. The opening was reinforced with a woven collar so it would not tear. They made pomegranates of blue, purple, and scarlet yarn and attached them to the hem of the robe. They also made bells of pure gold and placed them between the pomegranates along the hem of the robe, with bells and pomegranates alternating all around the hem. This robe was to be worn whenever the priest ministered before the Lord, just as the Lord had commanded Moses. They made tunics for Aaron and his sons from fine linen cloth. The turban and the special head coverings were made of fine linen, and the undergarments were also made of fine woven linen. The sashes were made of fine woven linen and embroidered with blue, purple, and scarlet thread, just as the Lord had commanded Moses. Finally, they made the sacred medallion, the badge of holiness, of pure gold. They engraved it like a seal with these words, "Holy to the Lord." They attached the medallion with a blue cord to Aaron's turban, just as the Lord had commanded Moses. Can you imagine Moses having to remember all this stuff? Good Lord. And so at last the tabernacle was finished. The Israelites had done everything just as the Lord had commanded Moses. And they brought the entire tabernacle to Moses. Brought the entire tabernacle to Moses. When I carried it, oh my Lord, what was it? Over 15,000 pounds. That's like 7 tons. They brought the entire tabernacle to Moses. Wow. I bet they brought it in pieces and then assembled it. I had to. The sacred tent with all its furnishings, clasps, frames, crossbars, posts, and bases. The tent coverings of tanned ram skins and fine goatskin leather. The inner curtain to shield the Ark of the Covenant, and its carrying poles, the ark's cover, the place of atonement, the table and all its utensils, the bread of the presence, the pure gold lampstand with its symmetrical lamp cups and its accessories, and the olive oil for lighting, the gold altar, the anointing oil and fragrant incense, the curtain for the entrance of the sacred tent, the bronze altar, the bronze grating and its carrying poles and utensils, the wash basin with its stand, the curtains for the walls of the courtyard, the posts and their bases, the curtain for the entrance to the courtyard, the ropes and tent pegs, all the furnishings to be used in worship at the tabernacle, the beautifully stitched garments for the priest to wear while ministering in the holy place, the sacred garments for Aaron the priest, and the garments for his sons to wear as they minister as priests. So the people of Israel followed all the Lord's instructions to Moses. Then Moses inspected all their work. When he found it had been done just as the Lord had commanded him, he blessed them. That's 39. Get some more Java juice. Throat's getting scratchy. I don't know. I've been, our bathroom, I don't know who did the drywall work in there, but it's horrible. And I think they locked some of their dogs in there sometimes because there just was deep scratches in the drywall and the paint. I had to go in there and repair all these holes with spackling. And then, of course, wait a day or so, let it dry, and then I have to go in with sanding block and sand it down. Some people wet sand. I used to do that, but I don't know. I've got a fine sander, and I just sand it like that, and I don't know. I think it does it a lot smoother for me. Of course, then you got dust everywhere, which could be why my throat's scratchy today. Because I've went in there 4 times now. Because every single time I think I'm done, I go in there for something, and inevitably I see another 1 or 2 spots that, I need to fill in, or I need to, they've got, oh my gosh, I don't know who did it, but they did not know what they're doing. I mean, there's just waves in the drywall where they did not know how to mud. To be honest, the whole bathroom pretty much needs gutted and the drywall needs redid. But I'm too old for that crap. So I've got it where it's acceptable to me. I'm a little bit of a perfectionist. It's acceptable. I can live with it. Now it just needs primed and painted. And then I'll move on to another room. We got the house really, really cheap, but, it needs, most of it's just cosmetic crap. It doesn't, there's really no structural damage or ain't roof or anything like that. It's just needs trim. It needs a couple of interior doors because somebody got mad and punched the doors or something. There were holes in walls. There was from the dogs just destroying, like our computer room. That carpet is going to get replaced. The walls are just horrible. That door needs replaced. A lot of work. It needs a lot of work. It's just going to take time. But anywho, let me get some more Java juice and we'll finish up Exodus. And then we'll be going on with Leviticus. I was trying to think where me and my wife are reading in Deuteronomy. Yeah, so it ain't going to be long. I'll be catching up. So we're going to have to read that faster, I guess. We were reading me a chapter, her a chapter. But if they're super long, her voice, I don't know why she can't read out loud. And so we read like half a chapter, well, more like I read like 4/5 of the chapter and then she reads 1/5. As long as she reads part of it, I don't care. It's just, I want us both to contribute to it, kind of like a Bible study kind of thing. All right, let's get going with 40. In the completion of Exodus, tabernacle completed. Then the Lord said to Moses, set up the tabernacle on the first day of the new year. Place the Ark of the Covenant inside and install the inner curtain to enclose the Ark within the most holy place. Then bring in the table and arrange utensils on it. And bring in the lampstand and set up the lamps. Place the gold incense altar in front of the Ark of the Covenant. Then hang the curtain at the entrance of the tabernacle. Place the altar of burnt offering in front of the tabernacle entrance. Set the wash basin between the tabernacle and the altar and fill it with water. Then set up the courtyard around the outside of the tent and hang the curtain for the courtyard entrance. Take the anointing oil and anoint the tabernacle and all its furnishings to consecrate them and make them holy. Anoint the altar of burnt offering and its utensils to consecrate them. Then the altar will become absolutely holy. Next, anoint the wash basin and its stand to consecrate them. Present Aaron and his sons at the entrance of the tabernacle and wash them with water. Dress Aaron with the sacred garments and anoint him, consecrating him to serve me as a priest. Then present his sons and dress them in their tunics. Anoint them as you did their father, so they may also serve me as priests. With their anointing, Aaron's descendants are set apart for the priesthood forever, from generation to generation. Moses proceeded to do everything just as the Lord had commanded him. So the tabernacle was set up on the first day of the first month of the second year. Moses erected the tabernacle by setting down its bases, inserting the frames, attaching the crossbars, and setting up the post. Then he spread the coverings over the tabernacle framework and put on the protective layers just as the Lord had commanded him. He took the stone tablets inscribed with the terms of the covenant and placed them inside the ark. Then he attached the carrying poles to the ark, and he set the ark's cover, the place of atonement, on top of it. Then he brought the ark of the covenant into the tabernacle and hung the inner curtain to shield it from view, just as the Lord had commanded him. Next, Moses placed the table in the tabernacle along the north side of the holy place, just outside the inner curtain. And he arranged the bread of the presence on the table before the Lord, just as the Lord had commanded him. He set the lampstand in the tabernacle across from the table on the south side of the holy place. Then he lit the lamps in the Lord's presence, just as the Lord had commanded him. He also placed the gold incense altar in the tabernacle in the holy place in front of the inner curtain. On it he burned the fragrant incense, just as the Lord had commanded him. He hung, I thought I seen something on my phone. He hung the curtain at the entrance of the tabernacle, and he placed the altar of burnt offering near the tabernacle entrance. On it he offered a burnt offering and a grain offering, just as the Lord had commanded him. Next, Moses placed the wash basin between the tabernacle and the altar. He filled it with water so the priests could wash themselves. Moses and Aaron's sons used water from it to wash their hands and feet. Whenever they approached the altar and entered the tabernacle, they washed themselves just as the Lord had commanded Moses. Then he hung the curtains forming the courtyard around the tabernacle and the altar, and he set up the curtain at the entrance of the courtyard. So at last Moses finished the work. Then the cloud covered the tabernacle, and the glory of the Lord filled the tabernacle. Moses could no longer enter the tabernacle because a cloud had settled down over it, and the glory of the Lord filled the tabernacle. Now whenever the cloud lifted from the tabernacle, the people of Israel would set out on their journey following it. But if the cloud did not rise, they remained where they were until it lifted. The cloud of the Lord hovered over the tabernacle during the day, and at night fire glowed inside the cloud, so the whole family of Israel could see it. This continued throughout all their journeys. And that is Exodus. We'll be starting on Leviticus next episode. Yeah, there was only 3 chapters left, and I don't know, I could have just did 2 and then did 40 separate, but I thought, 40's not that long. It would have been a really short episode. Of course, you know, we all know I love to talk, so I'm sure I could have filled it with something. I'm just saying. But, let's see, we read all 3 chapters, and it's only been 30 minutes, so. Yep, and we're done with the second book of the Bible. We will be starting the third book of the Bible. I think it's Leviticus, what is it? Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy. Yeah, so I have Leviticus and Numbers, and then we get into Deuteronomy, which is where me and my wife is. And with us, we read on average 2 chapters a week. 1 chapter Wednesday, 1 chapter Sunday. Trying to remember how many chapters is in Leviticus. I'll say at least 25. I don't remember. And we're just getting ready to do 3 today because it's Wednesday. Oh boy, you're talking about at least 3 more months. I'm going to have to step it up because I'm almost certain I will be done with Leviticus and Numbers before that 3 months is up. I don't know. Anywho, I hope y'all got something out of today. I know I did, even though it was a bunch of measurements. I still got something out of it. You know, you gotta, even the parts of the Bible you don't necessarily enjoy reading, like measurements or lineage or this or that, you still gotta read it. And you gotta keep reading it and keep reading it. Every time you read it, a little bit's going to get absorbed into that brain pan of yours, and you'll pick something up that you didn't realize before. You know, I'm on my 3rd time reading the Bible, 4th time with my wife. There's parts of it I come across, and I'm like, how did I not see that the first 2 times, you know? Or the time with my wife, you know, because we skip all over the place. I read in chronological order for YouTube. But with me and my wife, we take turns. She picks a book of the Bible, we read it, and then I pick the next book of the Bible, which is usually in the New Testament. I like the New Testament. I mean, it's Jesus. What's not to like? So we jump around. She typically picks books of the Old Testament, which I don't know why. I mean, there are some really cool books in the Old Testament, like Job, and I don't know. I'm not, Genesis, of course. But there's a lot of lineage, a lot of measuring, a lot of, you know, stuff like that in the Old Testament that, I don't know. There's some of that in the New Testament too, though. So-and-so begot so-and-so begot so-and-so. When it talks about the lineage going up to Jesus, you know, or John the Baptist, or, you know. Anywho, we'll be starting with Leviticus next time. Till next time, I love each and every one of you. Y'all, please, please, please be good to each other. And I'll bring you something again real soon.